Good afternoon, everyone. I am Teacher Arjem. Welcome to my teaching demo for IFVL. This teaching demo is divided into 3 sessions, so that means 3 class meetings. Let's just say that we are done now with the preliminaries. So the worship or short devotional is finished as inspiration, opening prayer, devotional, and closing prayer. And the checking of attendance is also done. Let's go straight to our lesson. Good afternoon, class. Welcome to our lesson this afternoon. And in our lesson, I will show you some pictures which I want you to describe. So here they are. Here's the first picture. What can you say about this? How about this one? This? And this. Any guess? Go on. Okay, here. The first picture is raining cats and dogs. Good. Next. Black sheep. Yeah, that's very easy. Next one. A piece of cake. And the last picture is break the ice. Good. Now, basing from these phrases here, the pictures here, what do you think are we going to discuss? Any guess? Alright, so we're going to discuss about idioms. We will learn what idioms are. Why do we need to study them? Are they even important? Let's see. Now, before we continue, I want you to go to your respective groups. Remember, we have divided the class into 5 and each group has how many? Yes, we have 6 persons in each group. You may now regroup yourselves. Go. Thank you. So let's go to the definition of idioms. First, we have to define the 4 examples that we had a while ago. Here they are. When we say raining cats and dogs, what does that mean? Good, heavy rain. Next, black sheep. A disgrace to the family. Next one, a piece of cake. Okay, very easy. Break the ice. To be the first to start. Very good. Now here, idioms, it means a group of words in a fixed order that have a particular meaning that is different from the meanings of each word on its own. That comes from Cambridge Online Dictionary. Before we go on, I want each group to make sentences using these examples. And later, you're going to share that in class. Okay, you may now proceed. Go. Can you now share your examples? All right, very good examples. Thank you. Now, don't you know that even in the Bible, there are already idioms? Yes. So here, in our examples here, these examples come from the New King James Version. I will be showing you 3 sample texts. And I want you again as a group to work this out and find from each text which part do you think is the idiom. Here are the 3 texts. There we have Deuteronomy 5 verse 6, 1 Samuel 10 verse 9, and Proverbs 24 verse 20. Go. Where are the idioms here? Alright, time's up. Let's see. What are your answers? Group number 1, 2, and 3. Let's see. Can you share with us your answers? Okay, group 1. Very good. The house of bondage. What do you think does this mean? Group number 4, can you answer? Okay, slavery, we will see later. Next one, group 2. Gave him another heart. Good job. Gave him another heart. What do you think does that mean? Changing hearts. We will see. Next, group 3. All right, the lamp of the wicked will be put out. Okay, very good. Now, let us make some sentences using this. Can you make your own sentences? By each group again, make sure that your sentences will be coming from an event or a story in the Bible. Okay, I'll give you time. Are you ready? All right, so let's see groups 4, 5, and 3. What are your examples? All right, good. So here they are. The Lord released the Israelites from the house of bondage. So that means the Lord released them from, yes, slavery. Next, God gave King Neb another heart. That means God changed King Neb's heart. Next one, the lamps of Eli's sons were put out because of their bad doings. What do you think does this mean? Yes, they died because of the bad things that they did. Do you have any questions so far? All right, thank you. Now let's see, what are the importance of idioms? Here they are, the first one. Idioms help us think outside the box. It makes us creative. Idioms help us find our sense of humor. Idioms dress our writing to impress. That's why in creative writing, in making stories, we use idioms. Idioms make learning a language fun. Idioms abound in English for specific purposes, or ESP, and idioms are essential in creative writing. This comes from London School ND and Van Ness 2014. So these are the importance of idioms. Can you share other importance of idioms that you know? Okay, very good. Thank you so much. Now, for your group work, this can be done after the class since we don't have time anymore. So I want you to make an idiom infographic. And in your idiom infographic, you have to, since you are 6 in each group, you have to contribute, each one of you should contribute one idiom that has not been discussed yet. You can search through Google or whichever, and then make sentences using your idioms. Now, the twist is this. You have to make at least one paragraph story, very, very short story, using the idioms that you have formulated or that you have searched on. Is that clear? So the story will also be seen in your infographic. This will be submitted in our next lesson, in our next session, next meeting. Any questions? Okay, thank you very much. So the first meeting is over. Let's now go to the second meeting. After the infographics have been submitted and shared in class, here's the next part of the lesson. So class, here I will show you a very, very short story which I got from this link. And again, since I think you are familiar now with idioms, I want you to read this and see which of these are idioms. So Bob was sick as a dog, but after having fully recovered from his illness, Bob had a new lease on life. He took up work again, but his boss was a pain in the neck. After work, Bob used to go for a walk, which did him a world of good. Just like that, he could recharge his batteries. After the walk, he felt fresh as a daisy. After getting from Getting home from his walk, Bob had dinner. He used to eat fast food for dinner, but he kicked that habit and preferred to fix something for himself. He knew you are what you eat. So let's see, what are the idioms here? First idiom, good, sick as a dog. Where's the next one? Yes, a new lease on life. Next, a pain in the neck, recharge his batteries, fresh as a daisy, and kick the habit. Good job. Now, remember these idioms here. So when you say sick as a dog, it means very sick. New lease on life, livelier than before. Pain in the neck, annoying person. Recharge someone's battery. Take a break and come back better. Fresh as a daisy, looking better or feeling better. And kick the habit, remove the habit. Do you have any questions about this? I will not ask you anymore to make sentences using this because I have something for you to do again as a group. And this is story making. There. In your story making, you will do this now since we have access in the internet. We have our Eastern, so you can use that to do this. You have to go to storyboard that, make your accounts there using your Gmails, and then as a group, make your own moral story. Remember, this shouldn't be just a story or a fiction story, just a fiction story with nothing to learn. It should be a moral story at least 2 to 3 minutes long if you will retell it, and then use the idioms from the story. You may add other idioms as needed. So the idioms that you use, that we have discovered a while ago in the story of Bob, you will use those idioms and you may add more. Make sure that your story will be appropriate for 10 to 13 years old, and use storyboard this one, to make animations in your story. And after you're done with everything, you have to convert that to a video. Okay? Good question. Why do we need the story to be appropriate for 10 to 13 years old? Because you are not only going to make this. In our community Sabbath, next Sabbath, you are going to share your story to the children there who are 10 to 13 years old. So you will tell them your own story, or you will show them the story that you will make. Is that clear? Any other questions? Okay, good. If there are no more questions, that's it for now. I will just facilitate you while you are doing your work. You can now go to your respective groups, open your laptops, your iPads, your gadgets. You may use them now. I will just be around. I'll roam around the room to see what you are doing. Make sure that you are focused on what is the activity for today. Thank you. So that's it for the second session. Now let's go to the third session of the lesson. And this will be the last session for now. Here, after the class had finished their storyboard or their stories and had converted them into videos, this is what they're gonna do. So here, class, this is what you have to do. Each group will upload the video on YouTube, and each of you will share your group's video on social media platforms. On Facebook, since we are international here, there are some of you who are Chinese, you can share that on WeChat. Also on QQ if you still have that. And Instagram, also on Twitter. So you have to upload and share your video. You don't just need to upload your videos. You also have to make sure that the captions for sharing the video is a one-sentence reflection of what values you've learned from the process of story making. From the time that you worked as a group to make your story, what were your challenges, your struggles, did you have fun, what have you learned from each of the group, and from the experience itself. Make a one-sentence reflection regarding that, the values that you've learned while you're making your group's story, and you can share that through these social media platforms here. Is that clear? Okay, so before you upload your videos here, if you need to do some final touches on your stories, do that now. You can edit here, you can edit that now, and we will see later your uploads. Now, for a wrap up, before you do everything else, in our lesson we have studied this. So again, what is an idiom? Okay, good. When are we going to use idioms? Can we use idioms in formal letters? Business letters, can you use idioms? No, we cannot. Very good. Next, why do we need to use idioms? Okay, good. Samples of idioms. Thank you. Can somebody from each group share your learning experience? Group 1? Okay, thank you. Group 2? Thank you very much. 3? Good. 4? All right, thank you. And group 5? All right, thank you very much. Any clarification? Do you have questions before you edit? Okay, nothing more? Okay, thank you very much. Now, before we totally end, I just want to thank you all for being so participative. I hope that you have learned something, and I hope that you will not be afraid to tell stories about how good God is, especially to young people, because they really need that. I hope you have learned. Thank you. You did a very good job. Congratulations. See you again.